Okay, hi, I'm Christine Boyd. My business is All Clay and I'm based in Pueblo, Colorado. And I'm going to talk to you about advanced kill shells because they are a game changer for me. I usually don't look like this when I load my kills, but I thought I was going to be in front of camera, so I, put a little lipstick on or something. The first thing I want to talk about, there's so many things, the space savings in my studio. You can see how I have these shelves stacked up here, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be 8 layers in my kiln, and it takes up, less than about 12 inches of space with these sticks in between to keep them separated so I don't get the aluminum hydrate that I use on the bottom of the shelves. They are extremely light. I mean, I could hold this with 2 fingers. I don't know what the pounds of this is, but yeah, it's probably 5-7 pounds, something like that. Very, very light. And I can bend over and pick it up without stressing my back, which I think is very good. I keep looking over here because I have notes actually. The space I gain in the kiln when I use these shelves is it just adds up, and you know that if you do clay, just a fraction of a clearance on something can make the difference between getting a pot in the kiln or not, or multiples of pots in the kiln or not. So more notes. One thing I love about this too is with these shelves, I can use these small posts rather than these big ones. This saves even more, little bits and pieces of space in the kiln. They're just as strong, they just fit nicely. So typically on these shelves, you don't need to use kill wash. But because I use porcelain and I can get, there's so much flux in porcelain that if I don't use kill wash, I can get what's called plucking. And they talk about this on the official Advancer video. So the way I do this is I have a bowl. This is aluminum hydrate and my sticks are across it. Make sure that the back is clean because I'm doing glaze stuff, so I just wipe that off. Okay. I use one of these sponge brushes, these cheap little things, and all it takes, I work slow because of the dust factor. All it takes is just a little light brushing of this, and it completely eliminates the plucking that I might get from my porcelain. So I just clean up the edge a little bit so it doesn't spill over. The way I prepare my posts so they also don't stick to the shelves, because I do high fire, I do between cone 8 and 10, is I will have a little wet rag here. I get that in wet, I get that in wet, and then I just dip it in my bowl, and I have both sides of my post with a little dusting of aluminum hydrate, and it's not gonna, when I lift the kill shelf up, it's not gonna stick. It's gonna come right off really nice, beautiful. So, let me move this stuff out of the way, and we can load this baby. Okay, I've got my work glazed and ready to go in, and because I'm kind of a short guy, I have this at my kiln so I can stand. I'm using the shelves I'm using that they sent me are the first 26-inch shelves that they're making this for this big kiln. They made them to size, and I am so happy. I can't even begin. Well, I'm trying to begin to say how I love these, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. So I step up on my little spot, and I always check the bottoms before I put them in, and I just set them in gently like that. Well, maybe I'll turn that around. And when I do, when I do run my finger around the bottom, I try to remember not to do it over the top of the kill. Do it outside of here. So, and then my plates. Now, with these shells, they don't warp. They're really flat. So if I use half shelves like you see in here, I can set a plate right on the center seam without worrying about one of the shelves being even just a little bit higher than the other, so I'm not going to get a plate that rocks, which is really important. What else? I think that's probably it. These shelves rock. I'm going to put another shelf in on top of there, the one I prepared, just so you can see how easy, how light this is. And how it fits on those small posts. I'm going to load this kill. It's not going to be level, so I'm not going to put these balance these on the edges, on the center of the post. But if I were to load it evenly all the way up, that is the way I'd do it. And those little posts are magnificent. So I don't know if I said this in the beginning, these shells are very expensive, but if your life is clay, it is so worth the investment. The end.